Janet Henning,
And how do you spell your last name?
Henning. What Henry, our son who's 18 years old, has Down syndrome, and what Henry enjoys most is he loves being with other people. He loves the social aspect of life. Henry loves music, and he's very knowledgeable about all different kinds of music, and music in groups, and he likes his movies too. He likes to watch movies. Henry was diagnosed with Down syndrome. He was born at 9:30 on a Monday night during halftime of a Packer game. And the doctor came in the next morning and said he was fairly certain that Henry had Down syndrome, and that he would not be telling me this if he didn't have a really good inclination that that's what it was. So that was on a Tuesday morning, and we got the official diagnosis on Friday morning because they had to send the blood work to Milwaukee to have it confirmed. Having a child with special needs, and I will say special needs because his health care, special health care needs, there's more than just the health, it's the whole total child or person. Certainly brings a different dimension to our life, and it's evident when we can look at ourselves, our lives compared to other people's lives, that our life revolves mostly a lot around our child, because he is we are his sole support of getting places and doing things, and we are the ones who will enable him to have a full life. It puts a huge responsibility on us, and it's sometimes difficult to balance it out between, because we have 3 other children, to balance his needs and to take care of the other children's needs also. And although I think that maybe when they were growing up they felt like, because they're all adults now, that they have perhaps felt slighted at times, I think that as they get older they realize that having Henry in their life has added greatly to their lives and has made them better people for having him as a sibling. Because Henry, with Down syndrome, who's 18 now, loves to socialize with other people, he wants to be out into the community, but at the age he's at 18, he doesn't want mom and dad hanging around. And it's what we see as a difficulty right now is allowing him to have those experiences just like his siblings have had, but in a safe, secure way. And finding the supports for that has been difficult. And right at this point, we're transitioning from high school to beyond high school and not having the support of the school. And it's sometimes frightening to think about what life will be like in 2 months when he's no longer in the school. And we're figuring that out right now, and it's difficult and challenging to think about the future and wonder what supports will be there and how we're going to make his life most fulfilling for him. My hopes and dreams for Henry as he goes into adulthood is that he will be able to live the life that he wants and to have a safe, secure place to live and to have the least restrictive environment that he's able to have. And I believe that's going to be not living with mom and dad, which is going to be very difficult for me. And that's what my hope is for him. The challenge right now, again, is that he's 18 and he's looking at what type of employment he wants. He has not experienced employment or even knowing what's out there for him. So it's kind of a blank picture for him, and we are at this point trying to get him some job experiences so he can know what's out there and what he likes and what he doesn't like. I think that early on, for giving advice to other parents, I would say don't always think that the people who say they are the experts or that you think are the experts know what's best for your child, because you are the parent and you know what's best for your child, and sometimes that may be not what the so-called experts tell you. you know your child, and you have to verbalize what you want for your child. We learned that early on, probably when he was 3 or 4 years old, when they were telling us to go one direction, and we're like, whoa, this isn't what we think is best for him. Ask questions and get information, educate yourself. My expectations for attending the Yippie program was that I would become more informed and educated and make connections with organizations, agencies, and other families that would be involved in my life at this point. Well, after we went to the first one, you get a taste for it and you understand what it's about, and there's just so much information that you learn about and are given, and you want to come back because you want to learn more. I understand that because we have other kids, and part of growing up, and even though you're 18, you have to allow them to move out. I'm going to talk about my other children, allowing them to move out and experience life, and I truly believe that to grow, sometimes you have to fail. Okay, so we need to allow Henry the same opportunities. And the thing about that is that you have to be able to allow those failures to happen in a safe way. For example, he was home alone a few weeks ago, and because he didn't have school that day, and typically we'll let him stay home for, I don't know, 4 or 5 hours alone, then we'll come home and we're there for lunch. Well, he decided he was going to make eggs on the stove. We have a way for him to make eggs in the microwave, but because his brother comes and makes eggs on the stove, he was going to do the same thing. And he did, and he didn't tell me interesting about, he tried to hide it, that he had made eggs, but I could smell it because he had burnt them really bad. And he had even gone to the thing about, he had washed all the dishes. And I walk in the door, I can smell he had burned eggs, or burned something. I'm like, what burned? Nothing. I'm like, you did the dishes? Yeah, I wanted to. And okay, so I'm looking around, I'm like, something burned here. And go look in the garbage can, he had changed the garbage can. So and I go look in the garbage, he had taken the garbage, put the burned eggs in the garbage, taken the garbage out. So he had thought this all through, which is in a way great, because the thought process was all there to hide it, just like his brother probably would have done. But okay, so it's a learning experience. He burned eggs, but what I mean is that we have to allow failures, but in a safe way. My concern is that he would reach across the stove and his sleeve would catch on fire, or he'd leave the stove on and burn the house down, or whatever it may be. So figuring out a way to allow failures to happen in a safe way, because it's part of growing and learning.